And good morning, Santa Clarita, and welcome to Aging with Power, sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I am your host, Myles McNamara, and our show focuses on the challenges and the topics that we face on this journey that we call aging. We begin aging from the moment we take our first breath, and although our show will primarily focus on adult and senior issues, we do from time to time slip around the entire aging spectrum, from the womb to the tomb. Our subject matter experts will address concerns and questions to empower us to make informed decisions. And we are live on a lot of different platforms today. So if you have a question, I'd like to have a question of myself or my guests to be introduced in a moment, feel free to give us a buzz at 661-298-5487, 661-298 KHTS. Love to hear what's on your mind and try to address whatever questions or concerns you may have, because after all, preparation is knowledge and knowledge is power. And I mentioned a couple different platforms. We are live on Facebook today as well. So if you'd like to see us and comment and maybe even ask your questions, do you monitor that, Justin? And yeah, so say hello to Justin, our sound engineer. Good morning, Justin. Go ahead. Say hello.
Good morning.
So facebook.com/KHTS radio. Join us on Facebook. And then if you miss any part of the show, you can also catch us on our podcast or any show in the past, because the information we try to bring you is pretty important as we ourselves age or we are caring for an aging loved one. And we have a great show in line for you today. In studio with me, with an ever-growing presence here in Santa Clarita that we're going to talk about, from Kaiser Permanente. We have Dr. Rafael Rosado. He's an urgent care physician with Kaiser. Been practicing medicine with Kaiser for over 5 years, and we're going to talk with Dr. Rosado and not only about himself, but the things that he's doing with Kaiser, and extremely busy young man. And again, I want to just thank you, Dr. Rosado, for taking the time out of your schedule to join us. To welcome to Aging with Power.
Well, thank you, Myles, and it's a pleasure being here and also being present for our Santa Clarita listeners.
Absolutely. And to Dr. Rosado's right, who said she didn't want to talk, but I might get a comment or two out of her anyway, kind of set this whole thing up for me, is Miss Chelsi Schriver, the public affairs representative for Kaiser Permanente. And she's going to give us some insight, as I said, about the growing presence of Kaiser and the amazing things that are going on here in Santa Clarita. So, Chelsi, welcome to Aging with Power.
Very excited to be here. Thank you, Myles.
Awesome possum. And so before we get going, I do want to make everything kind of ties in here. It's almost like I knew what I was doing, because we're going to be talking with Dr. Rosado about the things that are going on at Kaiser, but also things that happen as our loved ones or ourselves age, as far as getting ourselves prepared for that. And sometimes we're thrust into the role of a legal advocate or being an advocate for our loved ones. And there's a lot of A, B, and C's to get those things in order so that you're not stonewalled legally and or medically when you're speaking on behalf of a loved one. And in that mode, there's an ongoing series that I want to tell you about that the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center and the College of the Canyons has partnered up. It's called the Family Caregiver Workshop Series. We're about 3 or 4 deep into them. They've been really well attended, and it's an amazing partnership between COC and the Senior Center. And again, it's empowering that family caregiver. They've tried to put a dollar figure on family caregivers in the past. It's ridiculous. It's like in the billions with a B of dollars if you were to pay family members for the care that they provide a loved one when they're thrust into that role. It's in the billions of dollars. And so this series is really empowering those family caregivers. And we have one coming up on November 18th, Saturday, November 18th, from 9 a.m. to 11:30, and it's at our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. And it is the ABCs of long-term care options, a primer on assisted living facilities, in-home care, hospice, skilled care facilities, and who pays for them. So it's a really valuable workshop series. So if you are interested, you can go to, actually I would suggest calling 661-362-3118. I'll give the information again at the end of the show, but it's 661-362-3118 to register. big thank you to Paul Wickline over at COC, the Dean of School of Social and Behavioral Sciences, who's really been instrumental in setting this up, along with Kevin McDonald and the folks over at our senior center. But there'll be a panel of experts this on the next one on the 18th to cover all the long-term care options I just mentioned. We'll be having Ann Front, who is the palliative care therapist, care coordinator at Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital, and she'll be covering palliative care. Covering the hospice option will be Flora Greenhill from Assisted Hospice. There's always a legal slant, and so also on the panel will be Jane McNamara, an elder law attorney with the McNamara Law Firm, PC. Margie Weiss is the executive director of Oakmont Santa Clarita, so she's going to be covering some of the assisted living options that are available. And then, I don't know why, but they've asked me to be on the panel as well. So I'll be talking about home care and the options you have with that. So again, this it's coming up on Saturday, November 18th, and I'll have more information about that toward the end of the show. But we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we will be talking with Dr. Rosado from Kaiser Permanente. So don't go away. You're listening to Aging with Power on AM 1220 KHTS.
There is only one language spoken at Thai Dish, and it sounds something like this.
This is great.
Once people get a taste of Thai dishes, there's really no reason to do any more talking. Make it full of flavor, make it delicious, only at Thai Dishes. Enjoy the atmosphere, love the food. Thai Dishes on Valencia Boulevard for free delivery, 253-FOOD. That's 253-FOOD.
Hi, this is Wendy Hassenflug, yoga and wellness entrepreneur. I'm excited to share one of the best kept secrets in Santa Clarita. Top Out Climbing Gym is one of my favorite places. Rock climbing is exceptional for building upper and lower body strength, and it improves your flexibility. Almost anyone can rock climb, and you don't have to be super fit to climb. You'll build strength and stamina while having fun at the same time. Get over to Top Out Climbing Gym in Center Point and challenge yourself to new heights.
Join Santa Clarita Transit on Saturday, November 11th for a patriotic ride to Knott's Berry Farm. The one-day round-trip service coincides with Knott's Berry Farm's annual Military Tribute Days, offering free park admission to all retired or active U.S. military, plus one guest. This Santa Clarita Transit excursion to Knott's Berry Farm is available for everyone for just $3 each way. New this year, buy your tickets using the Token Transit mobile app. Details at santaclaritatransit.com.
KHTS.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, 1220. I'm Myles McNamara, your host. And today we are joined in studio with the ever-growing presence of our friend Kaiser Permanente and Dr. Rosado, urgent care physician with Kaiser. And alongside him, we have Chelsi Schriver, the public affairs representative. So again, guys, I know you're busy. Welcome to you both, and thank you for joining me on Aging with Power. So we'll start with you, Dr. Rosado. Who's Dr. Rosado? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your path, how you ended up in Santa Clarita and with Kaiser and such.
Oh boy, there's a lot to say there, Myles.
Ready, set, go.
I'm a family physician. I am board certified. I work principally in the urgent care here in Santa Clarita. I've been practicing for 26 years, although I've been with Kaiser for the last 5. So I've been a couple places. I was in the military. I was in private practice. I did some public health and some work as executive medical director. And now I have the great opportunity to work with one of the best managed care organizations in the nation. I'm very proud to be here.
What branch of the military, Doc?
I was in the Army.
Army, okay.
Yes,
I have a
Army.
I have a daughter in the Air Force.
Oh, awesome. And, what I enjoy about practicing medicine at Kaiser Permanente is that we have a lot of assistance and help from the Kaiser team. We practice as a team. Our nurses, our staff, our department administrators, they all work together to give us the opportunity to focus on our patients. And that's very important, because when your physician focuses on the patient, then the patient gets the best care, the quality care, and the care that makes sense. That's for the patient and for the family. So I'm very proud to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to a couple of more sessions so we can talk more about aging and about some new things that are coming up with Kaiser Permanente and our new Santa Clarita Medical Office.
Absolutely. And one thing about living in Santa Clarita for almost 20 years now is I've really seen our town grow up, and it's no longer just a bedroom community, and the things that are coming to Santa Clarita, including medical care especially, and no longer do we have to go over the hill to find a specialist or any of those types of things. And one thing that was amazing is I was honored to be invited to your little VIP sneak peek of what's happening with your new facility opening in March. And I got to tell you, it was quite impressive. And actually, I don't know what's taken me so long, but I'm not going to name the name because they don't deserve it, but my insurance is no longer going to be offering coverage in California anymore. So I'm considering Kaiser, and what pushed me over the edge was seeing that facility over there on Tourney Road that you guys unveiled the other day. That's coming, to activity in March. But one thing I really liked about Kaiser, and you can touch on this if you would, Dr. Rosado, is your guys's care. They showed a commercial that Kaiser's done now as far as the preventative maintenance, the preventative care, the preventative tests, if you will, that you really focus on the whole being of your patients and try to prevent the issues rather than wait for the issues and then treat them. Touch a little bit on that, the whole preventative aspect of what you guys focus on.
Well, Myles, you know that prevention is a lot better than having to cure. So we invest highly in preventative care. It keeps our patients healthy, it keeps them safe, and it decreases the problems that people develop later on in life. Prevention is very important. It includes everything from preventing diabetes, obesity, problems with your joints. So we focus on the whole patient. And remember, the patient doesn't get sick on his own. There's a family that helps, and that's involved. So we also focus on the family. And as a family doctor, I can tell you that when we do focus on families, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And what type of strategy do you guys have to implement that game plan, so to speak?
Well, a lot of the strategies have to do with the whole person. So when you come to Kaiser Permanente, you get your initial physical, and in that physical, it also includes an evaluation, a nutritional evaluation, also includes an evaluation of physical activity, and also you get to sit down with your physician to actually make a plan for your health and your wellness. So we take the time that's needed to put those preventative issues up in the forefront.
And I know HMOs, so to speak, which technically what Kaiser is, has had such a bad rap in the past. And you guys have really emerged as not your grandma's HMO. You've really come out and done the analysis and done the homework and looked at the preventative care aspect of your patients. And quite frankly, you guys are obviously, I think, now the industry leader in that whole HMO program, because you're not really even an HMO anymore, the way you guys look at things.
Well, we are the answer to healthcare in America. And as we move forward, we want to put emphasis in the care that we give to our patients. So evidence-based care is what we base everything on. If the evidence is there, we care.
Well, awesome. Well, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to start. We'll cover some of the specialty stuff that you guys do, and more of that broad strategy of the whole patient care, if you will, and then I'm going to have Chelsi or you or the combination of both. I really want to talk about your new facility because, dang, that was amazing and impressive. So don't go away, folks. We're talking to Dr. Rosado and also Chelsi Schriver from Kaiser Permanente, and you are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station 1220.
Santa Clarita's premier senior living community, Oakmont of Santa Clarita, is leasing, bringing comfort and luxury to assisted living. Seniors can enjoy 5-star amenities, panoramic views, easy access to the freeways, and nearby shopping centers in a world-class community that provides an advanced continuum of care. No other community has this kind of luxury and amenities in our valley. You'll find good health, vitality, and purpose at Oakmont of Santa Clarita. Stop by for a tour. Visit oakmontofsantaclarita.com.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrecoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call the Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrecoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
The most charming new restaurant is now in Santa Clarita. Marston's Restaurant has been a Pasadena landmark, voted the best breakfast in California by the Food Network magazine. Now, discover Marston's new Santa Clarita location, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Marston's also has a fantastic catering menu that adds a delicious twist to any event. And they cater picnic dinners for that memorable romantic date. Experience Marston's on Newhall Ranch Road in McBean, or log on to marstonsrestaurant.com.
KHTS.
Welcome back. You are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station 1220. I'm Myles McNamara, and we are live on Facebook. So if you have the ability, go to facebook.com/KHTS radio and tune us in. Make your comments, questions, or you can call us live as well at 298-5487. Because we are talking to Dr. Rafael Rosado from Urgent Care Physician Specialty at Kaiser Permanente, along with Chelsi Schriver, and she is the public affairs representative with Kaiser, talking about the amazing new facility and Kaiser's strategy, if you will, their view on complete patient care. And Dr. Rosado, we're just starting to talk about this amazing new facility over on Tourney, but before we get there, kind of segue into that with some of the other specialty services and the whole aspect of what's going on over there.
Sure, Myles. The Santa Clarita Medical Office Building number 2 is the centerpiece of Kaiser's Permanente's new Santa Clarita Health Hub. It provides specialty medical services delivered in KP's new collaborative care concept, known as Reimagining Ambulatory Care Design. Within the context of healthcare, it includes access to wellness, education, some retail services, but at the heart of the complex is the indoor public square, which draws visitors into a dynamic yet relaxing atmosphere that encourages them to participate in the health initiatives offered and also to linger in a quiet educational setting. Specialty clinic services are many, and I'm so happy to say, because a lot of my patients, it's hard to go down the hill to Panorama City, so we're very happy to say that we're going to have cardiologists, hematologists, oncologists, kidney doctors, neurologists, eye doctors, orthopedics, podiatry, physical medicine, urology, pharmacy, X-ray. Oh boy, I can go on and on, Myles.
Absolutely.
So it's just amazing. We'll do blood draws, and then of course we do have plans to expand in the future. The building is designed so that both our members and the community partners can enjoy our services and our offerings.
Well, and one thing that I noticed from the commercial as well is you guys are so ahead of the curve technology-wise as well. And I don't know if this is your forte. If not, we can just pass it on. But one thing I really liked is that people didn't even have to physically come to the office to see their doctor. I mean, there was something in the commercial where someone hurt themselves playing basketball and they opened the laptop and they tuned right into their doctor and did sort of an examination right there on the iPad. Can you address that a little bit and how you guys are approaching that aspect of technology and medical care?
You know what? It's amazing the pace that technology takes us. Right now, we do have the ability to do video visits. That's where you chime in, you connect with your physician, you open a video program, and you're face-to-face with your doctor. And he can examine you, but we can see over the video. He can give recommendations on medications. He can send medicines to the pharmacy, and if you need a lab or something else, you could also order it online. Just
Absolutely.
Amazing, Myles.
Well, and as you mentioned, Chelsi, when I saw your little event the other day that showed the new facility, it doesn't feel like you're walking into a doctor's office.
Yeah, not at all. It's designed as more of a retail model. So, for example, you're used to walking into a clinical setting, your doctor's office, you're going for your physical. You check in, you sit down in the waiting room, and you're just stuck. You don't want to miss your name being called and whatnot. And here we're going to have digital screens all throughout the facility that lets you know where to be and when. You might even be able to get a text message on your phone telling you when your provider's ready to see you, and then you can go upstairs or you can go over, to the room downstairs. That way, we want you browsing around and looking. We have health education materials available, and it's going to be a really neat space. And we're also going to have flat screen monitors in every exam room. So in addition to doing scheduled video visits, you might be able to have a video consult on demand.
Wow. And we should probably mention that we are in open enrollment right now, right?
Oh, yes.
So if someone, I'm kind of digressing or kind of branching off here if someone wanted to explore switching either their Medicare assignment of benefits or as I was saying, I'm looking for a change, how does someone during open enrollment investigate and contact Kaiser? Was that your guys' specialty, or can we just direct them to the website?
Yeah, I would go to kp.org, or you can even log on through the exchange website, and either one shows you our different rates and plans and benefits offered, or kp.org/Medicare for the Medicare offerings.
That's correct. And I'd like to mention also that for the 7th consecutive year, Kaiser Permanente's Medicare health plans in California have earned 5 out of 5 stars for quality and service. I mean, this is just amazing, the work that we can do. It's all preventative. We include annual wellness visits, initial preventative exams and screenings for diabetes, nutrition, smoking cessation, you name it, Myles, we can get it done.
Well, one thing I've really noticed with you guys, that you've really pulled the curtain back on, as we mentioned earlier, preventative care and caring for the whole patient. Because I remember, the days of people wanting to get something on MRI or whatever, and they're denied, and it's never approved. And one thing that's really impressed me about Kaiser, and we talked about this before the show, is, we can't be naive. It's a business. And you guys have done your homework in your cost analysis and your metrics that actually benefits the patients, because you know that a patient's going to want to prevent being sick down the road rather than waiting to be sick and then be treated. So your guys' approach of the whole patient and the preventative care. And so when you were saying someone signs up for Kaiser for the first time, they get ran through the gamut of all these tests to get a benchmark on basically where they stand physically and medically at that point in time?
Yes, sir. My grandma always said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And as soon as you enroll, you're seeing your primary care doctor, you're having your cholesterol checked, we're checking your weight, we're looking at all those risk factors that you may have and how we can help you to mitigate disease states in the future.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take our next break, folks. When we come back, we are going to continue our conversation with Dr. Rosado and Chelsi and the world of Kaiser, and sort of start segueing rather into what we talked about at the beginning of the show with being an effective legal advocate. And I love having Dr. Rosado sitting here next to me because we can talk about some of the things that intertwine with being that advocate for your senior. And then what Dr. Rosado's faced with, if you haven't done your homework and you haven't done the things and talked about those things and legally prepared for those things before those things hit you upside the head. So don't go away. That's what we're going to talk about in addition to more Kaiser stuff after the break. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, 1220.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located in Old Town Newhall, the CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go to canyontheater.org.
Your Friday nights just got even better. Vine's Restaurant at Hyatt Valencia is making your next date night easy with their prime rib buffet, featuring slow roasted prime rib, homemade soup, fresh shrimp salad, and a whole lot more for only $29.50. The Vine's Restaurant new prime rib buffet, Friday nights at the Hyatt. Make your next Friday date night at the Vines. And keep every day of your week happy at the Vines Lounge and Patio. Happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. daily, featuring $5 appetizers and drinks.
The Santa Clarita Artists Association has a new gallery in downtown Newhall on 6th Street between Main and Railroad, right across from the Canyon Theater Guild. The gallery features our members' paintings, sculptures, and one-of-a-kind handcrafted gift items. Whether you're an art lover, buyer, or an artist wishing to join, visit our website at santaclaritaartist.org, come to our free monthly meetings at Barnes & Noble, or stop by the gallery. For upcoming events and exhibits, check us out at santaclaritaartist.org. We make visual art visible.
KHTS.
And welcome back. You are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, 1220. I am your host, Myles McNamara, and joining me on Aging with Power today is Dr. Rafael Rosado from Kaiser Permanente. He's the urgent care physician, and alongside Dr. Rosado is Chelsi Schriver, the public communications representative, and we're talking about their new facility. And he doesn't know it yet, but he just came up for the new tagline of Kaiser, I bet, because if the evidence is there, we care. I love it. So we'll make sure you get credit for that, Dr. Rosado. But again, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, folks. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook, so go to facebook.com/KHTS radio. So we've talked about Kaiser's approach to preventative, do those tests, get a benchmark, see how you're doing, make sure that, as a whole, you're doing well. But now let's segue into what you do, which is your life. And this is where all this preparation comes into play, is when they come to see you at the urgent care. Because now we've had an episode, we've had an incident. So let's talk a little bit about that. I know that's your love, that's your specialty, and that's why we said you're the urgent care physician at Kaiser. So talk a little bit about the urgent care.
Yes, sir. Well, Myles, I'm a family physician, but right now what I do best is urgent care. I call it putting out fires. We're Kaiser's firemen, and because, flames jump up all of a sudden, and we understand, and we understand that our patients need this kind of care. But we are a high acuity urgent care, which is a little bit different than your regular urgent care. Urgent care is a type of healthcare clinic that focuses on the delivery of urgent and sometimes emergent ambulatory care in a dedicated medical facility. And as you know, we'll be moving our high acuity urgent care over to the new building. So we're looking at primarily to treat diseases requiring immediate care when things go south. Urgent care centers like ours primarily treat diseases requiring immediate care, but we also treat some emergent stuff or things that really should go to the ED, but they show up at our doorstep. And we're ready and prepared. Our nurses are level 3 nurses. They all have experience in the emergency room. They also have experience in the ICU and critical care. So we're very happy and honored to work with our high acuity nurses.
And when you say to the ED, that's the emergency department?
Emergency department,
Okay.
yes. Uh-huh.
But you're equipped to, as you're talking about, handle pretty high acuity stuff so folks can be treated right there on spot, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, we see patients with chest pain, heart failure. We take care of the urgent things. We stabilize, and then we transfer via 911 to local emergency rooms where patients get definitive care. And then through Kaiser's programs, they make it back into the Kaiser hospitals, which is very important because we want to keep our patients. We want them to get the best care possible. A lot of times we'll refer to secondary or tertiary care areas. Sometimes we refer all the way down to Los Angeles, depending on your situation. But the very important thing is that even though we take care of complex medical problems, we do it with much, much shorter wait times. Yes, definitely. If I had to choose the ER or urgent care, my first thought would be to go to the urgent care, especially a high acuity urgent care like the one we're going to have at our new building. So we're very focused on taking care of our patients. We're focused also on the needs of the elderly because the elderly, some fires come up a lot when we get to that point in our lives. And one of the things that I would like to talk about too is how we prepare for those moments when it's difficult to make decisions. So we also focus on that. We focus on preparing our loved ones when they come into the urgent care. If they have end-of-life issues, we'll bring it up and we'll say, have you made a plan? Have you talked to your loved ones? Do you have a power of attorney? Have you filled out a pulse to tell us what is it that you would like us to do or not to do?
And let's elaborate on that a little bit, because I know the PULSE, which stands for Physician's Order for Life-Sustaining Treatment, is the acronym, has really kind of replaced the DNR, yes?
That is correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell our listeners, if they don't have a pulse, why they should have a pulse? What does the pulse tell you as a physician, and how can they fill one out?
Well, the pulse is very important. It tells us what the patient would want us to do for them when that moment comes. And really what it focuses on is what life-sustaining treatment would you want? Do you want to be placed on a ventilator? Do you want people to push on your chest if your heart stops? Do you want artificial feedings? But most important is, have you chosen also a person that can help you make these decisions? Because sometimes the patient can't make the decision, and they come in a situation where we have to rely on family. And it's so hard, sometimes families haven't talked about this, and it's very difficult for us to know exactly what you would want done if you haven't talked about it with a family member. So pulse is important. It tells me as the physician what I should focus on, what your even spiritual needs are. That's very important.
Let's talk about really quick in that same text, if you will, the unfortunate circumstances when you as a physician are faced with an emergency, and here comes grandma, and in tow with grandma are the whole loving family. And now you're having to make decisions at a breakneck speed, and there is no pulse. There is no advanced healthcare directive. What do you have to say to the family? And this is heartbreaking sometimes, but it is what it is. So I know that you're guided by HIPAA. You're guided by other, laws. So share with our listeners what you have to tell them when they want grandma to be treated in a certain way, and they've got no pulse, they've done no preparation, they have no advanced health care directive. You have to say what?
Well, I have to ask the family members, what is it that grandma would want or not want done when this situation comes up?
And now you've got 5 family members all arguing amongst themselves of what they think grandma would have wanted.
Exactly. And when it comes to that point, Myles, we have to do what we need to do to keep our patient alive, to keep them going and to maintain life. So a lot of times we have to, if the family doesn't know what to do, we have to intervene and do what we do as physicians to keep the person.
But I think the point I was trying to make, Dr. Rosado, is it no longer becomes a directive to you, it becomes a suggestion because they don't have the legal preparation done. So you still got to make the decisions that you feel are best for grandma because all they're at this point able to do is give you suggestions. They have no legal authority.
Exactly. That is correct. That is correct. And that legal authority is so important when the patient makes that decision beforehand. And yes, you're right. You're right. It's stressful. Not only are we dealing with the medical issues, but we're dealing with the family issues. And I just can't say how important it is for to make that decision before that situation happens. Tough decisions.
And we're going to stay on that topic because it is so important, but we do have to run away for a quick break. And so when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the pulse and some of the other preparations that you can do for your loved ones if you're in the role of an advocate or you have not had the talk yet. So don't go away. We're going to wander into some really important stuff after the break. You are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station 1220.
Coming soon to the Canyon Santa Clarita, Gin Blossoms, Eddie Money, Chris Christopherson, Timothy B. Schmidt, Petula Clark, Tower of Power, Berlin, Todd Rundgren, Jefferson Starship, John Hyatt, The Spinners, Doc In, Lynch Mod, English Beat, Sinbad, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, Ricky Lee Jones, Ambrosia, Donovan Frankenreiter, Boogie Nights, and many more. Soulful Sunday brunch every Sunday, country nights on Wednesdays, and they're the perfect place to host your holiday parties and special events. The Canyon Santa Clarita, where music meets the soul. Tickets available through Ticketmaster.
The Las Vegas shooting created awareness for all of us. Awareness to upgrade security at concerts. Awareness for clearly marked exit signs. Awareness on how to evacuate safely. And awareness to have tighter hotel security. The law offices of Owen Patterson Owen are working diligently with Las Vegas victims to prevent future tragedies from occurring, as well as protecting the rights of Las Vegas victims to receive financial assistance for their ordeal. If you know someone impacted by the shooting, visit opolaw.com. That's opolaw.com.
Hey, Mom, can you sign this?
Honey, do you know where my sandals are?
Mom, can I get this? What's for dinner, Mom?
Mommy! When you're a mom, things come at you from every direction. But saving 20% on your monthly natural gas bill could be the easiest thing you do all day. With SoCal Gas and the CARE program, it's easy. See if you qualify. Apply every 2 years and then direct your attention to...
Mom!
Honey!
Mom!
Well, just about everything else. Apply at SoCalGas.com/care.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station 1220. I'm Myles McNamara of Comfort Keepers In-Home Care, and we are talking about important stuff here, so welcome. If you've missed any part of the show, we will be available on podcast at hometownstation.com. And you can pick up any part of the show because we're talking with Dr. Rosado from Kaiser Permanente, and he's been telling us about all the amazing things that Kaiser does from the patient care perspective and preventative maintenance and things like that. And Chelsi Schriver, the public affairs representative, has been chiming in on their new facility over at Tourney to be opened in March of 2018. But when we went away, we were talking about some really important stuff as far as what Dr. Rosado faces on a daily basis if you have not done your homework, if you are attempting to be or you have been named a legal advocate for your loved one. I mean, there's so many different layers to that responsibility. There's healthcare decisions, there's financial management decisions, there's long-term care decisions of options that'll be taken care of once a decision has to be made, be it a skilled nursing, an assisted living, home care, hospice. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So to pick up that conversation, Dr. Rosado, we were talking about the pulse. which is the acronym for Physician's Order for Life-Sustaining Treatment, and some of the stumbling blocks that you run into when all this legal advocacy hasn't been done the proper way.
That's correct, Myles. Let me tell you a little bit about our life care planning and advanced directives. We have a program called Life Care Planning, also known as Advanced Care Planning, that helps our adult members of any age plan for those what-if moments. Life care planning involves two major choices. First, selecting someone you trust to make your healthcare decisions if you are incapable, giving specific instructions about your care in the event of a sudden injury or illness. These are very important decisions, Myles, so it is best to make them after carefully considering your values, your beliefs, and your experiences. Wishes for how you want to be cared for are documented in the Advanced Healthcare Directive. Start talking about these things, difficult issues with your loved ones now, so you can first designate that healthcare agent, which is a person who can voice your healthcare choices in the event you cannot communicate. This is also known as a durable power of attorney for healthcare, or medical durable power of attorney. And then, of course, second, provide instructions about your medical care in situations in which you are unable to make your own decisions. And third, express your values, your hopes, and your priorities. We've had patients that we've had to intubate. We've had patients put on life-sustaining treatments, and sometimes it's temporary. But you know, the family hasn't made a decision, so they're very confused. But sometimes we'll help them and say, well, you know, this looks like it's going to be temporary. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a few days, and then we can reassess and look at the situation and decide if this is something that we need to continue or not.
Which is such an important part, because people jump to the whole, I never want to be on a ventilator. But like you just said, if it's just for a couple days to get them over a hump and then they're going to live a long, fruitful life, there's a difference. And you need to talk about all those different hypotheticals before the time comes.
Oh, definitely. And you know, medicine, like most sciences, there's a lot of gray zones. Okay, so even if you're on the ventilator, that doesn't mean that you're at the end of life. Like you said, getting you over the hump, helping you breathe for the next few days may be what you need. And then after that, you can live a fruitful life. But there are a lot of degrees to that. So it's very, very important that we make these decisions early and also involve our family. Because, you know, family suffers too. You know,
Absolutely. And I know Kaiser has a hospice program as well. And the term hospice scares a lot of people. But again, going back to the Advanced Healthcare Directive, to the Pulse, whatever, and you've had that talk with your loved one as far as when end of life becomes an issue, how do you see that unfolding? So, you know, Kaiser's hospice program probably relies on a lot of that pre-homework that we just talked about, yes?
Oh, you bet. You know, hospice, I've had the opportunity in my 26 years of being a physician. 2 of those years I spent as a hospice director. And it was amazing 2 years of my life. I learned so much from my patients and from the people who care for them. But when it comes to that moment, hospice is definitely there for the patient, to keep them what's called palliative, to palliate their pain or suffering or shortness of breath, to really help you through the difficult times that end of life diagnosis is going to take you. Hospice is there for the patient primarily, but it's amazing how the family gets involved in hospice. And being involved in hospice is key to allowing your family loved one, your family member, and your loved one to have an exceptional end of life. To be at peace and to be loved and to be held and to make those last moments the best moments. That's what hospice is all about.
And with the proper training, that can happen right in the comfort of their own home.
Oh, yes. That's where hospice is done best.
Right.
Is at home with your family members in an environment that the patient is a loving environment.
Right, and because I mentioned to you before the show, I mean, with Comfort Keepers, our in-home care aspect of things, working in conjunction with hospice, if the planning is done and you set everything up that you need at home, and you've got hospice, you've got home care, you've got family, you've got the environment that whoever is challenged with that end-of-life issue, it's exactly the way they set it up. to write down to what music is playing in the background. I mean, you can be that specific, and you touched on it. It doesn't have to be scary. I mean, we all want to live forever, but when that time comes, you want that to play out how you want it to play out.
Exactly, Myles. And for the person that's going through this, you want to give them hope, peace, and you want to know that your loved one's wishes were carried through to the last.
Well, darn, this hour sure has went by fast. We got to take our last break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with Dr. Rosado with Kaiser, and we're going to talk about, if you don't have a pulse, how do you get one? How do you get one filled out? I've got a website for you that you can get some advanced healthcare directive forms and start to have the talk with your loved ones and to take that journey of becoming an effective legal advocate should you're ever thrown into that role. So don't go away. We'll be back in a few. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, 1220.
Tucked away in Canyon Country is an upscale, intimate, unforgettable dining experience. Taste the wonders of Italy at Piccola Trattoria. This gem of a restaurant is our valley's best-kept secret, but not for long. The secret will be out once you've tasted their homemade pastas, pizzas, ossobuco, or their scrumptious sausage, fresh seafood, or steaks. Better save room for dessert. Your table will be fighting over who gets the final bite of their heavenly tiramisu. Piccola Trattoria, off Sierra Highway on Dolan Way. Your unforgettable dining experience.
With Facey Medical Group, good health is within your reach. Our doctors provide Santa Clarita's finest primary and specialist care at 4 convenient Santa Clarita locations. If you're looking for connected, convenient, personal care, there's no better place. We accept most health insurance, including plans offered through Covered California. Call 1-844-MY-FACEY for more information or to schedule an appointment.
Hey there, I'm Tori with your hometown station weather. Sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. Clear tonight with overnight lows in the upper 40s, and more of the same tomorrow. Dwight Yoakam at the Pack Sunday, November 12, 8 p.m. Dwight Yoakam has forever changed the direction of country music, bringing a new slant to the honky-tonk of the times. For more information, go to hometownstation.com.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to Aging with Power. It's been a great show. If you've missed any part, don't forget we are on podcast. Go to hometownstation.com, go to podcast, Aging with Power, and all of our past shows. We've been talking with Dr. Rosado and Chelsi Schriver from Kaiser Permanente and their expanding presence in the Santa Clarita Valley. And then we've also been talking about the very important issues of being a legal advocate for your loved ones. And we've talked about the PULST, the physician's order for life-sustaining treatment, the advanced healthcare directive. Have that talk, folks. And, there's a website. And let me also preface this and make a disclaimer. I am not an attorney. I don't believe I've ever even played one on TV. So these are suggestions to point you in the right direction. And there's a website. I suggest that you have these forms done by an attorney because there's always some sort of nuance or situational that can't be covered by these I don't like to call them cookie cutter forms, but I will. But to get the process started, there's a website called helpforseniors.org. So it's help, the number 4, and seniors is srs.org. You can do some research, but Dr. Rosado, they can also do that with their physician, correct? You all folks have pulses at your office, then they could get a copy there.
Oh, you bet, Myles. As soon as the patient comes in and the question arises, we're able to download forms. We're able to sit down with the family. We have a team. We have social workers. We have a whole team of people that can sit down with you and help you make that decision, that what-if decision. And, lawyers are important. But, you could also take it to, somebody who can just sign an affidavit. If it's straightforward and you know what you want, you can go straight to what do you call those, where they just sign the affidavit?
The notary.
A notary public, yeah. Right. And take care of it that way. But we do have the information for the patient in the healthcare setting. And we will bring it up, believe me.
Cool. And Chelsi, March of 2018, yes?
Yes, we're very excited. We're bringing specialty care close to home in the Santa Clarita Valley. You know, we haven't offered specialty care in the Santa Clarita Valley, and this full suite that we have coming: cardiology, ophthalmology, podiatry, all your ologies.
A lot of ologies.
Essentially, you know, all under one roof with lab and pharmacy and everything. So we're really, really excited, and we'll have more details in 2018 as we get ready to open.
Right. So again, folks, Kaiser Permanente, give them a look. Go to kp.org, correct?
kp.org/Santa Clarita, if
Okay.
you really want to see.
And is there some kind of virtual tour of your new facility there yet? Or?
I have renderings.
Renderings.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I was there, folks. It's amazing. Dr. Rosado, urgent care. You guys are moving into that new facility in March of 18 as well, right?
Oh, you bet. We're excited.
And where are you located right now?
Right now, we're on Tourney Road, just 2 buildings down.
Awesome. Okay, folks, it is open enrollment, like I said. So give Kaiser a look. They're amazing. They look at your whole body, person, wellness, preventative. Has that commercial been released yet? That's an awesome commercial. I love it.
I think it might be out there.
Yeah, it's really cool. It shows you how to think before you act, and that way you're keeping your own health in mind. And also to recap, folks, being that effective legal advocate, get that post filled out, get that advanced healthcare directive filled out, have the talk, sit down with your parents when it's not an issue and ask them, how does this look to you? It's your choice. It stops a lot of conflict within the family. It stops a lot of guessing. And one thing a lot of folks forget about is it's not just our parents. If you have an adult child who's turned 18, they are a legal adult. You are not able to play the dad card or the mom card. You will be restricted on the same level of talking for your parents when you go to, God forbid, the hospital, and you have that question be popped at you from the hospital. Who's the advanced healthcare directive agent? Well, I'm her dad. Well, that's nice. Who's the advanced health directive agent? So, folks, if you have a legal adult child, get it done as well. But have the talk, get the post, get the advanced healthcare directive. Dr. Rosado, Chelsi, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That does bring us to the end of the hour, folks. And don't forget, if you've missed any part of the show, we are available on podcast at hometownstation.com. If you have any specific topics that you would like me to cover, shoot me an email at mileswithany@comfortkeepers.com. Again, it's mileswithany@comfortkeepers.com. I will invite those subject matter experts on. I will make it happen. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care. I am Myles McNamara of Comfort Keepers. And folks, remember, aging is not a disease. It's a journey. So do it with power.